Let's talk about side hustles. So a side hustle is an additional source of income that you can use to support or to supplement your current lifestyle, and it can be used to replace your income in the future. So sounds good, right? Everybody would like to have a side hustle. We know it's an important part of diversity, whether it's within our real estate portfolio or whether it's for us as entrepreneurs and business owners. I want to talk about what it's not as well. And what it is not is a half-assed afterthought that you are embarking on with little or no planning. It's also not an unproven business idea that you are going to immediately leave your job to pursue or chase down this business vision that you have. There is a right and a wrong way to do a side hustle. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the benefits, and then we're going to cover some ideas on how to make it happen for you. Top 5 benefits of starting a side hustle. First one is income diversity. There is tremendous peace of mind that comes with not being 100% dependent on your employer and on your ability to be able to count on them to continue to provide a job for you. If you are not already self-employed, there are quite a few tax write-offs available when you become an entrepreneur and start your side hustle. There is also improved financial stability. The same way that in my real estate portfolio, I use multiple investment models. I invest in different markets in different ways. This provides diversity for me so that I am not counting 100% on any one particular thing coming through each and every month. There's a lot of independence. When you have a side hustle, you have the opportunity to decide who you want to be and what you want to do every single day. And then there's also the sense of personal fulfillment. For me, it was being able to make decisions based on my ethics and integrity. A lot of people ask me about my side hustles, and I'd say probably one of the biggest ones was when I was a trainer for Rich Dad from 2012 to 2020. I taught a couple of courses for Rich Dad to Canadian real estate investors, and I would definitely say that was probably my longest standing side hustle and my biggest one, simply because I used that income to be able to cover my household expenses so that as I was building my portfolio of investment properties, I could continue to take the returns from it and roll it back over into renovations, into growth, into hiring new staff in my property management company. So that income coming in subsidized or supplemented my lifestyle and my income from my other sources. I also have a rent-to-own company. Some might argue perhaps coaching would be a side hustle, although this is what I absolutely love to do the most. And I know that I will continue to have side hustles in the future because it is so rewarding, both financially and personally. 6 tips for starting your side hustle. So the first tip is to make sure that you have the time that's needed and the willingness to make the sacrifices that could be required in order to be successful on your journey. These things don't typically happen quickly. They are not overnight. There will be some sacrifice. There will definitely be time and energy that you will need to be putting in order to get your business off the ground. Number 2 is make sure that you educate yourself about what it's like to be an entrepreneur and a small business owner. There are grants available. There are all kinds of free resources. And then I strongly recommend you consider hiring a coach or a mentor who has been through the journey and can help you, help to prevent you from making those common mistakes. Number 3 is make sure you identify a need in the market where you have knowledge and experience and you can fill in those gaps. One of the biggest challenges I see is people are trying to get into a space that they don't know anything about. That's a big challenge. And this is tip number 4. Make sure you choose something with relatively low startup costs. I'm never going to recommend to one of my clients that they should choose a side hustle where they have to invest $100,000 in inventory before they've even been able to prove whether their vision or their idea has legs and will actually take off. Number 5 is make sure you do your research before committing to your idea. So things like identifying your target market and scouting out your competition, running a SWOT analysis, a business plan, a budget. These are all critical pieces and things that you should be looking at before you 100% commit to moving forward with your side hustle. And then tip number 6, plan to bootstrap. You don't want to have enormous startup costs. So you might be doing your own social media for the first little while. You might be doing your own bookkeeping or any of these other admin things, but the reward is so worth it. In my experience, there are a number of side hustles that people who are already real estate investors and entrepreneurs will typically start. So here's a list of the most common ones. First of all, property management. Whether you have investment properties and you do long-term rentals or short-term rentals, maybe you're in the student rental space, then you could start a management company where you are basically helping other owners who are active in the same space. Interior design, staging, any of those sort of design and visual type businesses are very appealing. You could become a real estate agent or a mortgage agent. Again, fairly common. You'll see those all over the place. Maybe you have a construction or renovation knowledge or background, so you might become a home inspector. You might start even a construction or a renovation company or a project manager. And then the sort of other common category that I see, things like real estate photographer or providing services for investors like social media. Thank you for joining. And if you are looking for someone to give you a hand getting started, whether you want someone to help make it easier for you, or you're just looking for some tools, some tactics, and a little bit of support planning, feel free to send me a message. I always love to connect with new entrepreneurs, and feel free to share this video with anyone you know who wants to get started on the next side hustle.